After John Bell's death, the Bell family braced themselves for what seemed like a temporary reprieve. But the dark presence that had haunted them never truly left. It had marked their home and their lives, and it would continue to test the limits of their fear. Even as the sun rose over Adams, Tennessee, the shadows lingered, stretching long and silent over the fields where once laughter and life had filled the air. Lucy Bell, now a widow, found herself navigating the empty halls alone, her children growing increasingly uneasy. Betsy, her eldest, seemed to sense the unseen presence more than anyone else. She would hear whispers at night, low murmurs that called her by name, voices that promised danger if she left the house or spoke of the events outside. The other children huddled together, terrified by what they could not see. But Betsy felt it in every corner, in every shadow. Soon, the phenomena escalated. Doors slammed without reason. Furniture shifted with impossible force, and strange marks appeared on walls, scratches, handprints, and symbols no one could decipher. At times, the Bell family would wake to find objects neatly arranged in bizarre formations, as though some unseen force were trying to communicate. The more they resisted, the stronger the disturbances became. Visitors, drawn by curiosity and the tales circulating through the community, began arriving to witness the haunting firsthand. Clergymen, skeptics, and even local leaders entered the house with confidence, only to leave shaken, pale, and whispering that they had seen things no rational mind could explain. The voice, known as Kate, seemed to delight in testing everyone's resolve, revealing private thoughts and humiliating anyone who doubted her power. One of the most chilling occurrences involved Lucy herself. While preparing dinner one afternoon, she felt an icy hand touch her shoulder. She spun around, no one was there. Then a voice, clear and deliberate, spoke directly into her ear. "You will never find peace here." Lucy dropped the pan, its contents spilling across the floor, her heart racing. The children were upstairs, and the house was empty. Yet the voice had been as real as the sunlight streaming through the window. As months turned into years, the Bell Witch's influence spread. Local legends grew, and townspeople began reporting sightings near the property. Strange lights among the trees, unnatural noises in the night, and shadows that moved with intelligence. Some swore that the spirit could leave the Bell property at will, traveling across the fields and woods to terrify anyone foolish enough to linger nearby. Betsy and her siblings endured the haunting in ways that marked them for life. At night, invisible fingers would pinch, slap, and scratch them. So many mornings they would awaken with bruises, their clothing torn, and strands of hair mysteriously pulled from their head. Sometimes the voice would mimic their mother, whispering orders or insults, causing confusion and terror. Betsy, in particular, became the focal point of the spirit's attention, her young mind absorbing fear that would follow her into adulthood. Visitors recorded astonishing events. Candles would flicker violently without wind, chairs would tip over, tables would move, and strange footprints appeared in dust-covered rooms. Clergymen tried prayers, exorcisms, and blessings, but the Bell, which only responded with mockery, it could quote scripture, debate, theology, and taunt anyone who entered the home. Reports suggest that Andrew Jackson himself, intrigued by the tale, once visited and witnessed inexplicable activity, leaving pale and alarmed. Lucy Bell's health deteriorated under the constant stress. Sleepless nights, anxiety, and fear for her children's safety weighed heavily on her. The spirit seemed to thrive on their terror, growing more aggressive whenever the family attempted to resist or leave the property. It would knock, whisper, and laugh, seemingly counting each moment of their suffering. In one particularly chilling instance, the spirit targeted a visiting neighbor, speaking directly to him through the walls. The neighbor, a skeptical man who had doubted all reports, found himself paralyzed in his chair as the unseen force whispered his deepest fears and secrets. He fled the property in terror, swearing never to return. The legend of Kate, the Bell Witch, spread beyond Adams, Tennessee. Newspapers and travelers carried the story far and wide, cementing the haunting in the public imagination. Skeptics tried to rationalize the events, mass hysteria, pranks, or natural phenomena. But the sheer number of witnesses, combined with the documented physical effects, bruises, scratches, and disturbances, made it impossible to dismiss entirely. As Betsy grew older, she carried the memories of these nights into her adolescence. The voice that once mocked and threatened seemed to fade somewhat after John Bell's death, but it never truly vanished. Local folklore insists that even decades later, people reported hearing unexplained noises near the old Bell property, faint whispers on windy nights, and shadows moving where no human could be. Some researchers suggest that the Bell, which was a vengeful spirit, perhaps tied to past wrongs done in the area. Others argue it was an unknown phenomena, a force beyond comprehension that chose the Bell family as its focus. Whatever the truth, the evidence left behind, the physical marks, the first-hand accounts, and the lasting fear cannot be ignored. And while the Bell family eventually left the property, the tale did not end. Locals continued to speak of the witch's presence long after the events were supposed to have ceased. Travelers reported chills down their spines when passing the old land. Animals reportedly refused to enter the woods near the farmhouse. Even today, those who investigate the legend note the sense of being watched, the feeling that the unseen presence has not truly gone. The Bell Witch had become more than a haunting. It had become a story, a warning, a cautionary tale of what might exist just beyond the edge of our understanding. It showed the limits of human perception, the fragility of comfort, and the terror of the unknown. As the second part of this story concludes, one fact remains clear. The Bell family endured unimaginable terror. Their lives were forever changed, their nights haunted by whispers and shadows that defied explanation. And yet, for all that suffering, the story of Kate, the Bell Witch, is far from finished. What will the Bell family face next? How deep does this malevolent presence go? And what truths will emerge when the unseen finally reveals itself? The next chapter of this chilling tale awaits. Do not miss part 3, where the haunting intensifies and the secrets of the Bell which grow darker than ever. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and leave your thoughts in the comments. The terror is only beginning.